Thank you for staying with us. We begin here. Police Minister Bheki Cele is expected to oversee the signing of a peace agreement between taxi associations in KwaZulu-Natal. Several meetings have been held with all stakeholders in ongoing efforts to find solutions to the violence and intimidation between the rival taxi associations. Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise joins us live from Ladysmith. Nobuhle, good to speak to you again. Just bring us up to speed with what's transpired in the last hour.
You will remember that I said that the program, Hugo, was supposed to start at 10 a.m., but there was a bit of confusion. It seems the minister and the other stakeholders went to another venue and then came here. We were then moved from the official venue, which is behind me, where the meeting was supposed to be held because of numbers. The numbers that they anticipated aren't exactly the numbers that are here, so they moved us into another venue. We're standing outside right now because they're just doing a sweep in the venue where the engagement is going to be taking place. But I want to bring in the police minister quickly because the program is going to start any time now, and just speak to him about that peace agreement that is being signed today, that was drafted on the 3rd of April. Minister, you have been in a number of engagements here in the KwaZulu-Natal province regarding this particular issue of violence within rival taxi associations. This is not your first time that you are here. You were here in July last year as well for the same issue in the Ugu and the Harigwala districts, and at the time you had mentioned that the deaths were 3 times more than the year before that, and so this is an ongoing thing, and you've had numerous engagements. Today, that peace agreement, can you take us into what exactly is in there outside of that ceasefire that you've called for?
Well, to start with, we'll never stop talking. It's especially when the fighting groups are willing to talk. As you said, we are bringing back the feedback of the meeting we had of the leadership. Specifically here is KZN and Gauteng, but based mostly here in Ladysmith. We believe that after that, those agreements will spread and go to other places where we think they are also source of the trouble and the confrontation within the taxi industry. But one thing that we have discovered here, we came much earlier, we started at the township called Ekvugeni. It's not just the taxi industry, it has spread to a lot of common criminality. The ship-ins and all that, quite a high degree of murder in ship-ins, but they say sometimes as they're sitting there, the taxi industry, people will come and shoot one another. So we need to deal with that. We were taken to the spot where there is a hijack of especially things like bakeries, things like butchery vans and all that kind of thing. It's a push. We need to take local government to show that is what we always term environmental design, which makes criminality grow in those places. But specifically here, we are very glad that all leadership that was there is already there now. We are happy about that. Even extra leadership that wasn't there. We're not signing too many things. 2 things that we agree upon is that themselves, they will behave better, but have agreed that we're not negotiating matters. Police will have to continue to deal with those investigations, but also themselves, they've agreed that anybody that gets out of the agreement is themselves that will hand over to the police. But one thing that we have been looking at, there has been a high level of arrest here, but also high level of bails and withdrawal of cases, which means we'll have to go and deal with the sister departments, especially justice and prosecution, to say help us. Those people that have committed serious crime, especially like murder, attempted murder, GPH and all that, will have to deal with those. So we believe that we will get better results here. As I've said, we'll never stop talking, but also Provincial Commissioner, they have asked that we must have a special team dealing with the outstanding matters. We will announce that and will ask that the team reports at the level of a national commissioner to make sure that we sweep off all those previous crimes that are here, but also working together with the people going forward.
And then, Minister, this is not the first time we see you. As I've mentioned, you were here a few weeks ago with an imbizo that was facilitated by the SAPS in KwaMashu, and you speak of the issue of criminality outside of the rival taxi wars that we see. I mean, what are some of the things that are going to be done here in the province to ensure that the level of crime that we see goes down, because a lot has been happening from the beginning of the year? What are some of the other programs, other interventions that you are putting in as the ministry?
Well, there are different components of crime. KwaMashu, we were dealing with the shutdown when we were there, but the criminality in KwaMashu, especially in the hostel and all those people there, they're shooting people outside the industry. They fight on their issues from hostels, from rural areas, especially people that died KwaMashu coming from Nkandla, Maklabatin and all those. We're dealing with those matters. But here, we're more on the taxi industry, as you say. So, but because we're here for taxi industry, doesn't mean we're not going to deal with common criminality, as I have said to you. We just need to increase our kind of operations. And you were not there last Saturday when there were operations. Those were more of drug-related issues. One guy that was knocked out there by the police is a key was a key guy when it comes to the question of drugs. So drugs is that, but also house robberies, taxi industry, things like cash ice. Though cash ice basically has been giving us more trouble in Gauteng, and the guys in Gauteng has been dealing with it decisively of late. We think that police are responding. We think that police are pushing back significantly so these days, and that's why we say our sister departments will have to help us, because it doesn't help to arrest these people, withdraw bail, because those that are on bail most of the time are repeat kind of offenders. If we can be able to keep them inside, we believe that time will come where we'll put the crime at the acceptable levels. We'll never eradicate crime, but crime can be on the acceptable level. At the present moment, the crime is at the unacceptable level. South Africans are correct to feel unsafe, are correct to be scared. That's why we need to respond to those fears. I said to you, we started in the township. As I get out of one of the shibin that is well known there were a lot of people standing outside, and they were shouting with one voice, the women and children say, that is not shipping, that's a mortuary, close that thing down. So those things help that you go there, you hear people talking, and then you are able to respond as people talk. Speaking
of shebeens and taverns, how are you looking to police those particular areas, because we are aware those are some kind of hotspots?
Well, fortunately, we have a lady here that is responsible for alcohol things, for liquor. She's responsible for liquor board. She's an inspector here. We're talking to her. She's briefing us. And those that people have raised issues, some of these shippings, you can't, the one that you're talking about, we're told that in 3 weeks, 5 people have died. You can't allow such things to continue in life. So, but we need to follow the law. Police, they need to be advised by the liquor board. And she's here, fortunately. We'll be listening to that. But also listening to communities. No way when people shout in one voice to say shut down, and we don't listen to that.
And then, Minister, lastly, if you'll allow me before I let you go, the Thabo Bester rearrest, your thoughts around it and the update for now.
Well, we spoke to the team yesterday. That they have, by that time I spoke to them at past 8, 9 last night. They have landed in Kilimanjaro, and they were in Arusha. They have met by that time met the officials that will be taken through what really happened. Bringing them back would be nice, but that does not depend on the team we sent. Also depend to the laws of the other country and cooperation of the other country. If they say you follow 1, 2, 3, we are not going to instruct them not to follow their laws. We are hopeful that it will be easy, because we are looking at deportation rather than extradition, especially the one that we hope as it comes, both of them, if they come, will hand them over to the justice. One is for justice, one is for correctional service. So we hope the Minister of Justice will be there. We trust the team we sent. The team is comprised of South African Police, Correctional Services, Home Affairs, and NPA. So it's a team that is at the high level, led at the level of the national Deputy National Commissioner, who led the team. So it does look like at the present moment things are happening. We hope we'll have answers and South Africans will know where do we go from there as a land.
Thank you very much, Police Minister. That is the Police Minister, Bheki Cele, just giving us, some insight into that peace agreement that was signed. We also asked him about the latest on the developments of the rearrest of Thabo Bester and his accomplice, Dr. Nandi Pamakudumana, and he also gave us an update there. But I'm just going to hand back to you back in studio, Hugo, because the program is about to begin and everyone is heading back in there.